Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to join CTO Priya Sharma and her core team, literally 3 weeks before a massive board presentation. We're going to look over their shoulders as they review the enterprise AI assumptions they almost got, well, disastrously wrong. You already know the basics, so we aren't doing definitions today. Instead, this is about real-world deployment logs, the second guesses, and those highly nuanced decisions that actually separate successful AI transformations from some seriously expensive mistakes. Priya's core thesis really sets the stage for our whole journey here. She says the obvious answer is wrong, and she hits the nail on the head. Knowing what AI tools do not do is honestly just as critical as knowing what they can do. When you're deploying enterprise AI, your very first instinct, it's often a trap. So we're going to look at the exact moments where Gonsul Enterprises' thinking was put to the test, and where the most obvious tech solution was actually pointing them in the completely wrong direction. To make sense of this, we're going to explore 12 of these near misses, organizing them into 4 distinct trapdoor categories to help you navigate this stuff. First, tooling traps. Second, co-pilot realities. Third, responsible AI in practice. And finally, governance, people, and security. Let's kick things off with Category 1, tooling traps. This is where the team quickly realized that picking the right AI capability requires looking way past the surface-level hype. Our first trap opens with the product marketing team. Product lead Sanjana needed to launch a website for 500 existing products into new global markets. The products were already photographed, the English descriptions were already written. The mandate from leadership? Use generative AI to get this done fast. So the obvious answer for most people would be to feed the specs into a model and just generate brand new descriptions, right? But let's hit pause for a second. The golden rule here completely hinges on the word existing. When you already have the data, the absolute most valuable use of generative AI is actually rapid translation for global reach, not content creation. By pivoting to translation, Gonsul launched in 5 languages in just 2 weeks. For context, that would have taken human translators 3 months. If the content already exists, think translation. If it doesn't, that's when you create. Moving over to the compliance team, they needed a solution to index incoming vendor contracts and extract critical stuff like expiry dates and penalty clauses. Solutions architect Dev Kapoor's very first instinct was to reach for Azure AI Search. I mean, it indexes, it searches, it's right there in the name, right? But the reality, total contrast. Dev's assumption was entirely wrong. Azure AI Search only finds the document so you can retrieve it. It doesn't actually read the contract to pull out those specific renewal terms. For that, you need Azure Document Intelligence. That tool actually performs the knowledge mining to extract structured fields from inside unstructured documents. They solve 2 fundamentally different problems. And this brilliantly illustrates why the manufacturing team was totally off base, thinking visual inspection needed a completely separate system. They just assumed Microsoft Foundry was only for language models and chatbots. But Foundry actually unifies computer vision, speech, and custom machine learning all under one roof. So Gonsul ended up managing both their warranty chatbot and their assembly line visual defect model in the exact same workspace, under a single governance framework. Pretty cool, right? Similarly, the customer success team absolutely loved their generative AI email drafter. So when they wanted to predict which customers might churn before their contract renewed, they wanted to use it for that too. Dev had to step in again. He had to clarify that predictive analytics belongs strictly to Azure Machine Learning, not your generative AI chatbot. Gen AI is for creation and summary. Predicting outcomes based on historical structured data, that is a classification problem. Once they actually used the right tool, their retention improved by 18%. All right, let's move on to our second category, co-pilot realities, where we're looking at misunderstandings around capabilities and licensing. There are some really rigid boundaries here regarding enterprise software that you need to know. So the finance team was thrilled about Microsoft 365 Copilot. They asked IT if it could automatically update their weekly sales tracking spreadsheets without human intervention. The IT lead gave them a hard no. Copilot might be incredibly smart, but it's not going to go rogue and rewrite your quarterly ledgers. It assists, it analyzes, and it suggests, but it does not autonomously act. And this isn't a tech flaw, folks. It's by design. The accountability principle demands that a human remains in control of consequential financial changes. If the AI updated on its own, no human would be accountable for the errors. But on the flip side of that, people were severely underestimating what Copilot could do straight out of the box. Sanjana surprised everyone by proving that the researcher agent inside Copilot isn't just for deep market research. She fed it a spec sheet, asked for a confident 150-word product description, and boom, done in 30 seconds. It serves as an instantaneous, zero-setup content creator for non-technical staff. No custom IT engineering required at all. Now, when it came to purchasing, the procurement team fell into a massive trap, assuming Copilot is just bundled into premium Microsoft 365 E5 licenses. Huge trap and completely false. It requires a separate per-user add-on license. It is not an E3 or E5, and no, you cannot just pay as you go like Azure OpenAI. Also, while Copilot Chat does offer a lighter, license-free conversational experience, if you want it to reason over your actual work data, even on your mobile device, you absolutely need that premium add-on. And what if you want to connect your external ERP system to Copilot? You might think, oh, I need to go buy Copilot Studio. Nope. You can actually just build a connector using the Microsoft Graph Connectors framework directly. Copilot Studio is designed for building entirely custom conversational agents and automated workflows. If you just need Copilot to read your external data, Graph Connectors handle that beautifully, and you don't need that extra Studio license. Okay, into our third section, Responsible AI in Practice. Let's observe how Priya walked her team through actually applying Microsoft's ethical principles to highly specific enterprise scenarios. Because let's be real, principles are great on paper, but they require extreme precision in the real world. This matrix is fantastic because it cuts right through the ambiguity. It maps specific corporate dilemmas to exact principles. For example, if your AI systematically rejects loan applicants over the age of 60, that violates fairness, which deals with equitable treatment. If an applicant demands to know why they got rejected, providing that explanation falls under transparency. What about fixing AI-generated ableist language in your customer service? That's inclusiveness. And blocking the AI from approving loans completely on its own? That ensures accountability. You have to know exactly which principle governs your specific dilemma. Finally, let's explore our fourth category: governance, people, and security. We're going to see why putting the wrong people in the wrong oversight roles is basically a fatal trap for both your organizational culture and your data security. When the board asked about AI governance, one member just assumed this team would handle Copilot training or, monitor IT performance. The CEO had to correctly clarify that the AI Governance Council operates strictly at the strategic and ethical level. They set the policies and ensure cross-functional alignment involving legal, HR, and the executive team. They are absolutely not a technical help desk or a substitute for your engineering team. Conversely, when they were establishing an AI Champions program, the operations team wanted to enroll all the data scientists. But an AI Champions program must be composed of everyday business users. We're talking people from sales, marketing, finance. They're the ones who build grassroots cultural enthusiasm and identify real, local use cases through peer-to-peer learning. Let the data scientists build the actual models. The champions are there to advocate for adoption. Now, on the security front, the legal team was absolutely terrified that the new GenAI assistant would end up reading classified merger documents. The fix here isn't just monitoring chats after the fact. You have to implement data governance as an upstream security control. By classifying every document with a sensitivity label right at the source, you extend those access controls directly to the AI ingestion pipeline. You literally block the AI from ever indexing or retrieving that confidential data. Protect it before the AI even gets a chance to see it. As Priya concluded during her final board presentation, success doesn't just come from knowing what these tools do. It comes from understanding the precise nuances of what they exclude. Azure Search doesn't extract knowledge. GenAI doesn't predict churn. Copilot doesn't autonomously update your ledgers. Mastering AI means mastering these exact boundaries. So, as you evaluate your own AI deployment roadmap, take a really hard look at your initial assumptions. Ask yourself, are you applying the obvious solution to the wrong problem? Are you falling into the exact same trapdoors the team at GoSil almost did? Or are you ready to truly embrace the nuance? Because in the fast-moving world of enterprise AI, the most obvious answer is usually the exact trapdoor you didn't see coming.